This video is about finding x and y components using trig. All x and y components form right triangles with the vectors of which they are components, so we can find their values using trig. I'm going to give you an example. So each of these vectors has an x and y component. I'm going to draw what those are. This is the x component for each, and this is the y component for each, just how far they go along the x-axis and how far they go along the y-axis. So if you don't remember how to solve for missing sides of a right triangle using trig, I've left a separate video explaining how to do that in the description of this video, but if you do remember, I'm just going to go on ahead and begin to do that. So I can see the adjacent side here will be equal to the hypotenuse times the cosine of the angle. Plugging in the specific numbers that I have allows me to solve for the adjacent side of each right triangle. So those are the values of the x components. And I can see that the y component is the opposite side of each triangle. So solving for the opposite side gets me these values for each triangle here. So that's how you would solve for the y component of that vector. And in general, that's how we'll use trig to find the x and y components of any vector that we have, just using the angle and the magnitude. There will definitely be times when the angle is drawn with the vertical instead of the horizontal, but we can still find the x and y component. So just drawing those x and y components, I'm just making sure here as I draw them that the angle is still inside of that right triangle. If it's inside of the right triangle, it will be much easier for me to use trig. So here I can see that the adjacent sides are actually going to be the y components. So plugging in what I have here allows me to solve for the y components of each vector. And plugging in what I have for the opposite side, which I can see here is the x component, allows me to solve for the x components like this. And that's how you solve for the x and y components of vectors using the angle of the vector.